Hey guys, this is a little different, and I think I've mentioned this before, honestly, but this is my personal view. Um, and we're talking about money, and this is my personal belief here, and of course, this is the Bible, Matthew 25. And I'm sure other people don't interpret this the same way, and that's all fine and dandy. But this is the way I take it. Um, it says, "For the kingdom of heaven is a man traveling to a far country who called his own servants and delivered upon them his goods. And upon one he gave 5 talents, to another 2, to another 1, to every man according to his several ability, and straightway took his journey. Then he that had received the 5 talents went and traded with the same, and made them other 5 talents. And likewise he that had received 2, he also gained another 2. But he had received 1, went and digged in the earth and hid his Lord's money. After a long time the Lord of those servants come and reckoned with them. And so he that received the 5 talents came and brought another 5 talents, saying, Lord, thou deliverest unto me 5 talents. Behold, I gained besides them 5 more. The Lord said unto him, Well done, good and faithful servant. Thou hast been faithful over a few things. I will make thee ruler of many things. Enter thou into the joy of the Lord. He also that had received 2 talents came and said, Lord, thou deliverest unto me 2 talents. Behold, I gained 2 other talents beside them. His Lord said unto him, Well done, good and faithful servant. Thou hast been faithful over a few things. I will make thee ruler over many things. Enter thou into the joy of the Lord. Then he which had received the 1 talent came and said, Lord, I know thee that thou art a hard, I don't know if this is accurate translation, hard man, reaping where thou hast not sown, and gathering where thou hast not strewn. It's supposed to be the King James. And I was afraid and went and hid that talent in the earth. Lo, there thou hast, that is thine. His Lord answered and said to him, Thou wicked and slothful servant, thou knewest that I reap where I sowed not, and gather where I had not strewn. Thou oughtest therefore to have put my money to the exchangers, and then at my coming I should have received mine own with usury. Take therefore the talent from him, and give it to him which hath 10 talents. For unto every one that hath shall be given, and he shall have abundance. But from him that hath not shall be taken away even that which he hath. And cast ye the unprofitable servant into the outer darkness. There shall be weeping and gnashing of teeth. Yeah, it does say King James. What does this mean? What do I take it to mean? I tend to think of talents as money. God went on a long vacation. You're his servant. The church is his servant. He's the groom, the bridegroom, and the church is his bride. And he goes on a long trip and comes back, and he leaves one guy with $5, let's say, and leaves the other guy with $2, and leaves one guy with $1. And he comes back from this long trip, and the guy with 5 has 5 more. 5 plus 5 is 10, and the guy with $2 had $2 more. Let's say $4, and then the guy with 1, he got scared and buried his in the sand, and God was really upset with him because I don't know what these usury words and all these stuff means, but what I take it to mean is if you just would have stuck it in the bank and got interest on it, at least you would have got an interest. You'd have got a couple interest points, percentage points. You'd have kept up with inflation. 1,000 earth years is one day in heaven. So, imagine God goes away for 2,000, goes on this journey for 2,000 years or 3,000 years or 4,000 years or whatever, and comes back. You could have been earning interest on that money all that time. And so the way I like to think of money is it's not your money. Everything is God's. The chances of us being born in America, I don't know what the odds are, but it's probably 1 in 100. We could have been born in the Philippines or in Siberia, or somewhere where you can work all day and earn $4, $5. And there's even some places that they work all day and they don't even earn $1. And that's today. Today in the world. Any person in America that even makes minimum wage is rich compared to the rest of the world. And any person in America, all they have to do is invest a little bit of money into the U.S. stock market or whatever, buy real estate, stay ahead of inflation, which typically is 2%, and earn a modest return, and you'll do really well over a long period of time. But what I take also these verses to mean is that the guy who had 5 talents, maybe he was a straight A+ student in school. Maybe he was a little smarter. Maybe his family was more educated and could buy him a tutor and stuff. So if you have a lot of talents and if you are given a lot in life, a lot is expected from you. And if at the same token, if you're not given much, if all your relatives and all your family went to jail and all your never amounting to much and never graduated high school and everyone's living in a trailer and everybody's on drugs, and not to single out people that live in trailers. I know there's going to be some nice trailers. There's some people that live in $1 million trailers. That said, I'm just making a point here. But maybe you were that part of that family that you were the first one in your family to ever graduate high school. You were the first one in your family that never went to jail. You were your first one in your family to graduate from college, even if it was a 2-year college. And so, maybe the person with five, maybe he, had a little more experience. Maybe he had uh, came from a wealthier family. I don't know, but maybe he was just a brighter person. Like not everyone is an Einstein. There's going to be some dull knives in the box. Um, but anyway, but to me, like these guys, they gave 100%. So if you get five and you get five more, that's 100%, right? That's 100% return on your investment. They gave 100%. They were entrusted with this money. They knew it wasn't their money. It was God's money, but they were entrusted with it. And when he came back, they gave him a good return on his investment. And there was the guy who buried his in the sand because he was scared. To me, these are the same people that today that they don't want to invest in the stock market. They don't want to invest in real estate. Oh, it's too risky. Oh, I can lose money. Well, if you do nothing, you're definitely going to lose. Because it tells you in the story here that the person who had the least was given to the person who had the most. And people want to know, well, how come the rich keep getting richer and the poor keep getting poorer? And it's in the Bible. Have you read it? It tells you. But this is how I like to think of money. It's not your money; it's God's money, and you are a custodian for this money, whatever it is. It could be $1, it could be $2, it could be $5, it could be $5 million, it could be $2 million, $2 billion, whatever it is. But he's entrusting you with this money, and he's expecting a return on his investment when he gets back. So that's the way I like to think about it. And you could be scared and not want to invest in anything, but the penalty for doing nothing is you lose, and you lose everything basically. Not only do you lose your material wealth, but you lose your eternal life as well, because those people don't make it. But yeah, I don't know if anyone else thinks of it this way, but um, there was the guy I used to listen to was Dr. Arnold Murray, and this from the Shepherd's Chapel. But if you ever want to learn more about Bible and stuff like that, you pretty much go to any chapter, any verse that will give you his interpretation of, and I agree with him mainly, almost always, but this one particular case. I might differ from him a little bit. So yeah, that's the way I think about money. It's not your money; it's God's money. All money is God's. He's just choosing to let you hold something for a little while, but then He wants it back. And He wants you to do something good with it. He wants you to get a good return on it and be a blessing to other people. If you're broke, how can you be a blessing to others? You're a burden to everyone else. God doesn't want you to be a burden. He wants you to be a blessing. Anyway, that's my little Bible sermon for today. Thank you.